Pisces is the final sign of all, the mutable water sign dealing with all things spiritual, ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Mercury is the fastest planet of them all, and the closest to the sun. Neptune is the furthest planet from the sun and the most hidden. So when Mercury comes to Pisces, Neptune slows it right down and drowns it in the ocean. Here, Mercury is told to shut up, calm down, and connect with a realm you never knew existed. Connect with the vibrations, the undercurrents, the frequencies going on behind the scenes. Be quiet and hear what is not being said than listening to respond to what you hear. And once familiarity is found, Jupiter teaches Mercury how to apply wisdom to all that random knowledge. Mercury is naturally a smart intellectual planet and rules Gemini and Virgo. These signs can be great in communication, witty, intelligent, and organized on the light side. It does well in these signs here on Earth. But with Virgo being opposite Pisces, this means Mercury is debilitated in Pisces, meaning it does not do well in Pisces. It's also in full too, as Mercury rules and is exalted in Virgo. So Pisces gets hit with a double whammy of problems in communication. But it doesn't work in the sense of it makes Pisces Mercury dumb, but more in the sense of Mercury has no place to build structure or be that quick witty speedball. It's deep in the abyss, connected with everything and in a trance. Which is great for inner work and can produce out of this world genius type people, but can also struggle in reality depending on other placements and genetics, as we all inherit intelligence too. So let's dive in.
Style of communication.
Pisces is a sign of duality. Two fishes, two worlds, and so on. It's free-flowing water, ether, a whole ocean. So when this comes to how Pisces is going to communicate with another, it's never one way, it's random, and can also be random to the Pisces themselves. From the tone of voice to the decibel level, it's never consistent. I'll give you an example. I could be walking down the street, half in my head, half in reality, then see someone I know. They can say, "Hi, how you doing?" And I can respond, "Hi, yeah, I'm all good, how about you?" In the softest voice ever, to where even I think to myself, why the fuck did it come out like that? And on another day, I could say, "Yo, yeah, I'm good, how about you?" In a deeper, assertive tone, to where even I think, whoa, I said that a bit serious. This can be controlled, but if I just speak without thinking, I won't know how it's gonna come out until it does, if that makes sense. So this is just one example, but this is what ties into how your typical Pisces Mercury is gonna speak. Because the last thing a Pisces wants to do is accidentally be rude or offend someone. So now Pisces is going to directly control how they speak when communicating with others, which will nearly always be friendly. A Pisces Mercury will be known for a soft and welcoming communication style, which will be accompanied by a soft tone of voice which you can hear right now. We'll be talking in a way as if we admire the person we're communicating with and are so interested in what they've got going on. Pisces is a sign that doesn't like attention or speaking about themselves. Its goal is to rise above the ego and the self, so from early, Pisces can act in a way where they allow others' egos to shine. So if you want an ego boost or a listening ear for all your problems, go be around a Pisces Mercury in particular. Now, am I the most friendly person? Fuck no. I'm polite because I was raised that way. But depending on who you are, I can be far from friendly. But by default, to stay in control of what I say and how I say it, I'll put my best foot forward. The dark side is, well, allowing others' egos to be on a pedestal creates ample amount of opportunities to kick others off it. A typical Pisces Mercury will be so surprised at how much people love talking about themselves and how shallow and open people can be. A Pisces Mercury will be hearing someone casually say something very personal about themselves and think, damn, I'd never share that with anyone if that was me, while still listening with a non-judgmental face. This is more when it's Pisces Sun and Mercury, but that hour style is so comforting it makes others feel like they can say anything. Obviously, not every Pisces Mercury will be a Pisces. They may be an Aquarius or an Aries, so that compassion may not even be there, though it appears that way in the way they communicate. Even with a Pisces Sun, that compassion may not be there. They can have an ulterior motive. But the style will be gentle. It'll be, I'm here to listen and not to offend anybody. And from listening so much, as opposed to always talking, if you know how some Virgos can be, you'll know they can yabber. This is how Pisces Mercury can really get to know people inside out because it all gets revealed. Pisces Mercury can become extremely socially intelligent, all from listening, which will resemble the mercurial effects on Gemini and Virgo, whilst being emotionally intelligent at the same time, which is an area their opposite sign Virgo can lack in. Socially, Pisces can excel due to understanding people. The less the Pisces Mercury talks and instead listens, can take them a long way with all kinds of people. Also, it will be hard as hell to trap a Pisces Mercury in conversation or force them to say things they don't want to. I always take a moment to process what I hear before answering to avoid being caught off guard. Sometimes I'll ask the person to repeat something I clearly heard them say, just to buy myself a bit more time to answer it properly. These things happen very quickly, and even though Mercury is moving slow in the Piscean waters, Pisces Mercury is very sharp in communication, especially when listening and responding. From Mercury starts understanding how the ocean works, you'll see how displacement being debilitated doesn't mean what you think it means. It's similar to Sagittarius Mercury. These are signs of the wise. Pisces energy is spiritual energy, so when in communication, Pisces are not just listening to your words, they are hearing it come from your soul. So this is how they will also know if others are lying or being deceptive. They'll know if people are saying one thing but mean another. Sneak dissing a Pisces Mercury is one of the worst things you can do, because you may think you'll go undetected when a Pisces will never forget it and will address it. If not initially, then eventually. As friendly and receptive as Pisces Mercuries come across, you need to realize it's like speaking to a tape recorder that can be all about confrontations and arguments when the time's right. In general, the Pisces Mercury will be subconsciously storing every important thing you say, and this will be replayed back to them after the conversation where they can consciously think about it and what to do with it. They will scan it like it's a file. So this is where a Pisces Mercury can afford to zone out even in convo, because they will still record or register what you're saying. It's the same effect as listening to something while you sleep in order to learn it, like learning a new language. Another way this works is Pisces have like a multicultural speech. It's a recorder, so if a Pisces is speaking to someone with another accent, a Pisces Mercury can pick up on how they pronounce a word and slot it into their vocabulary. I don't know if you guys notice, but sometimes in my videos, I can say a sentence in English, British, but one of the words will be pronounced in the way the Americans say it, because that's how I first heard it, so I say it that way. One of my close people used to always pick me up on how I pronounce certain words. They'd correct me in English, until we found out I'm saying the words right, just in the same way how someone with an accent from that country would say it. Say it's like a Turkish dish. I'd pronounce it how someone from Turkey with a Turkish accent speaking British would say it. So that's just another example of how it's not structured. Pisces is mutable merging water. There's no barriers, and with Mercury, this includes language. I mean, you won't hear me speak half sentences in Jamaican patois, then the other in Mandarin, but I probably would for banter if I knew how to. But in general, the Pisces Mercury will communicate with you in a polite and friendly way, but may not actually be friendly. So there's a big danger in that.
Mute. Underwater.
Pisces is one of the 3 mute signs, alongside fellow water signs Cancer and Scorpio. They are mute signs because their animal representations do not make noise. A crab, a scorpion, and a fish. It's not baa like an Aries sheep. It's not mooing like a Taurus bull. It's not actually talking like the Gemini twins or roaring like a Leo lion, and so on. Technically, Libra should be a mute sign too, being represented by scales, which is funny, as Libra is the most talkative sign, but I've explained that mad sign in other videos. So being the silent water signs, this is how they connect. The water signs connect through feelings, not words. This is why their connections are so deep, because words isn't even needed to understand each other. However, Pisces is a sign that understands every other sign's language, while speaking a language nobody else does. Pisces Mercury is the fish swimming in the ocean in another world, speaking and connecting mentally with everything. No words is needed. It's the ultimate mute sign. So when Pisces actually talks to others, it's like talking to a fish that can relate to you. You can be saying all this shit to the fish, and in response to you, the Pisces can adapt and speak your language. But if the Pisces really speaks from their soul, the only ones who will understand is other fishes. And Pisces is obviously not always around other fishes, so you'll find Pisces Mercury's rather be mute or only talk in response than striking up conversations for nothing. Pisces is about accumulation and conglomeration. It's a representation of one being. So Pisces' language is like every language in one. Being in the ocean allows Pisces to adapt to any person's language, but when Pisces speaks, it's all languages in one. So others don't get where Pisces is coming from. They can't pinpoint if they're speaking Cantonese, Dutch, Latin, if that makes sense. The Pisces can be speaking perfectly clear English, but it can still sound like a dream. Like, what did you just say? Something came out your mouth, but say that again. What did you just say? So to avoid being misunderstood, unless spoken to, a Pisces Mercury can stay mute. One thing that will piss a Pisces Mercury off is being asked to repeat themselves. But unless they're in control of how they're gonna communicate it can come out like someone with water in their mouth at times. So it can literally be hard for others to hear the Pisces Mercury. For example, I can be in my head and someone says, "Hey Dan, are you cool?" And instantly respond, "Yeah, I'm fine." Then they're like, "Huh?" Then I lock in and say, "I said, yeah, I'm fine." Then they're like, "Oh, sorry, you mumbled it at first, I couldn't hear you." And now I feel bad for getting a bit rude when initially I didn't speak clearly and they were only checking if I'm cool. That's 100% going to be a thing a Pisces Mercury deals with. Being asked to repeat themselves because they mumbled some shit that even to them, they may have thought it came out normal. So it can be frustration on either end. And depending on the Pisces, they may choose to just not say much. Very short answers. And this can be included in texting, just like one-word answers. I've also always found that my mind is steps ahead. So say I'm speaking to someone and I think of what to reply. That I've had that thought, I can feel like I've already said it out loud. So when the person's like, "Well, what did you think of that?" Then I remember, I'm like, "Oh shit, I thought I said it." Mercury and the moon have connections with the mind. So what I think is really important is how the Pisces Mercury is able to communicate as a child. The moon sign can show this in terms of the type of upbringing and experience you may receive. I was lucky to have a very open and understanding Scorpio mum raising me, so I was able to ask questions and not be afraid to say things respectfully. So it allowed me to explore and voice my mind. A typical Pisces Mercury's experience may just be exploring the mind, but not vocalizing it. On the other hand, I was more shy around my Sag dad. His aura was just serious whenever he wasn't in his jovial side. I'll never forget this one time. I was in the chip shop with my dad. I was under 10, I don't know, maybe about 8. And the guy behind the counter asked me if I'd like salt on my chips. And I nodded my head up and down to say yes. And it kind of angered my dad, where he said to me, "D, you have a mouth for a reason. Use it." He didn't shout it or nothing, it's just the tone of how he said it, and it's like something clicked in me. So from then, even if I felt shy or out of place, I'd still speak if I had something valuable to say. And I think those simple words really helped me come out of myself when around unfamiliar territory or if I'm uncomfortable. Because if I'm comfortable, I'm talking, my mouth is running. School-wise, I was very loud in the playground anyway. Even in general, if I'm around my people and they don't need any sort of healing or a listening ear, then I'm loud and jokey. Classroom wise, I used to always get picked up on not contributing in class discussions when I know the answers. It was always, why wasn't your hand up when you knew the answer? It's cause I didn't want the spotlight and didn't want to appear smarter than others. If no one else had their hand up and I knew the answer, I wouldn't put my hand up to avoid standing out. Yeah, don't do that. If any young kids hear this, don't do that. Always put your hand up. But from my dad said that to me, that changed me to a point. But same time, I'd be told I need to stop talking during lessons by teachers. My school reports from early all say Dan needs to contribute more in class discussions, and then not long later it's saying I need to stop talking during lessons. So you see the contradictions. Expect that with Pisces placements. Many contradictions, it's two fishes. But Pisces Mercury can definitely be mute even when they have a lot to say, not only in fear of being misunderstood, but from just being shy in communication or standing out. And if the moon sign is unfavorable, then you can really get delusions with Pisces Mercury. A delusional person in how they think.
Wordsmith. Charmer.
One thing I've always noticed with my Pisces Mercury is I find it easier to rhyme words than speaking normally. I'd rather speak in metaphors and similes because talking normally just seems boring. What sounds better? I went for a walk at night. Or, I went for a walk at night like Richard Ramirez. I mean, it's dark, but it's more interesting. So with Pisces Mercuries who are communicative, expect them to be wordsmiths. It will all just flow like water. Through this Pisces Mercury, you can get very funny people. You can get the wit of a joker like Clown. Someone who can be annoyingly funny to speak to if they want to wind you up. The potential to be very sarcastic is there too. Pisces Mercury will treat words like puzzle pieces and be putting together so many random words that it just ends up making sense. Don't ask no Pisces Mercury, how did you come up with that or think of that? Cause they won't fucking know, it just happens. The Pisces Mercury shines behind the scenes because Pisces is all about the subconscious world. So Mercury brings logic to that world. It's where anything that goes on in your head can be communicated and compartmentalized. So this works great when writing letters, poems, music, scripts, whatever you got going on in mind. Even just as a standard in conversation, a Pisces can be speaking to you in riddles or rhyming. Pisces is a sign of philosophy as much as the other three elder signs. But what adds that magical touch is Pisces can make that stuff sound cool. Pisces Mercury can speak like someone who is high off weed and not be. It's like refined wisdom. When you hear philosopher, you think an old man in a brown blazer, maybe smoking a pipe, writing some deep shit that someone with a less complex mind could never fathom. Pisces can take that and make it appealing for all to listen to. Similar to Gemini, because Pisces isn't about barriers and levels. It's make this readable and understandable for all. So turning it into a poem, for example, is what can make it click in others' heads. Because each rhyming word lets off a ding in the brain, like neurons connecting. Even with these videos, sometimes I'm just writing normally. Then when I record, I realise I rhymed a few sentences that I didn't even intend to. But you may think that I meant to. I did just mean to do that one. So that's more Neptune and Jupiter's influence. It's like a spiritual philosopher. The other thing about Pisces is Venus is exalted in the sign, so it makes Pisces very loving people. So when it comes to expressing love, communicating love, Pisces Mercury is second to none. Only Libra can rival Pisces in this department. If a Pisces is in love with you or chasing you, pursuing you, in person, this can look like someone in your face saying everything you want to hear. They don't even know you but know exactly what to say that's going to make you smile. You get big time charmers with Pisces Mercury. Think of like serenading. Unless the Pisces is shy or whatever sign they are, the Mercury will enable Pisces to express this love or charm effortlessly. I was real life chatting up women 20 years my senior when I was a young teen. They probably were laughing like the cheek of this kid, but I still knew how to make them smile or laugh at least. So girls my own age was like a walk in the park to flirt with or flatter. And that's no exaggeration. I never had chat up lines or anything, I would purposely say things off the cuff. So it's personal to this person. Fail to prepare then prepare to fail? Yeah, not with a Pisces Mercury. No plan is the best plan because it allows the fish to be free and adapt in the moment. So whatever energy I pick up or something I see that I can complement, it was just easy to do. Chat up lines were never my thing. Save that for the Leos and Libras. The bad side is, Pisces Mercury can do this and not actually feel that way. Pisces Mercury can charm anyone without any feelings involved. And when you get Aquarius with Pisces Mercury and Aries with Pisces Mercury, you can see why these signs can be big time Casanovas. Charming as hell. But with Pisces, this is another duality because they can do this in person in your face, communicating their love, and then when you get home, you can be flooded with texts, love poems, songs. A Pisces Mercury being a lover and a wordsmith can certainly sweep anyone off their feet.
Ahead of time. Daydreamer.
A positive and negative about Pisces Mercury is we can always be ahead of time, mentally. This is more the Jupiter influence because it brings that foresight to Pisces, that look aheadness. But then there's Neptune that can allow Pisces to access other dimensions. So with Pisces Mercury, do not expect them to be in the moment at any given time. They may need a pullback to this reality at times. Even as I'm writing this video in my head, I'm hearing how it's gonna sound when it's done. Well, I'm recording it now. And by the time I'm editing this video, my mind will be focused on something else like what I'll be doing afterwards or just something that's coming up. And by the time you guys hear this video, my mind will be so gone from this video. Before I even write these videos, I've already written them in my head. I'll wake up with these videos already written and just bring it to life. So when I do something, it's always like I'm going back in time to do it practically, when mentally it's old news. Pisces Mercury is always looking ahead, sort of the reverse to Cancers, who often mentally live in the past, which helps them propel forward. This is also how Pisces can avoid things and stay unsurprised by looking ahead and predicting what may happen. So you can get psychics with this placement as well, even accidental psychics. So being present is hard for a Pisces Mercury because every time period or dimension can be the present for us. This is why time doesn't exist to Pisces and why some Pisces may be late to things. I personally hate letting people down. So if I'm expected to be somewhere at a certain time, I'll be there before that time to be on the safe side. Even if I don't present myself dead on the time, you know, black people timing and all of that, but I'll be very local by then. This is how the Pisces mind can work. It's too much of a generalization to say Pisces is always late. If we care, we are there. But even grounding techniques won't help at times staying present. We can go out in nature, put our bare feet on the ground, and go hug a tree, but our mind is going to fly away. I've found just closing my eyes and actively listening to the birds and surrounding sounds can help me stay present if I want to be present, but it's still a struggle. It's hard to stay present and in the moment at times, fully present, when you're half here and half there. And I think that's where not also being a Pisces will help if you've got this placement. If you are a Pisces too, you'll know we are always floating. This is the placement of the Daydreamer, because essentially, Mercury is your thoughts. Pisces is daydreamers anyway, but Mercury is where your conscious thoughts is literally in Disneyland. Like you will not get a more dreamy placement than Pisces Mercury, which has many pros but has its cons too. As a kid, I was a sucker for a blank piece of paper. You know in your workbooks, where you've got the lines on the right side and the blank paper on the left side? I did finish my work, but the amount of times I'll rush it so I can finish early so I can start drawing, and in no time that left side of the book will be full pictures. And I wasn't even thinking what I'm gonna draw. I'll be daydreaming about something else whilst I'm drawing. Then when I snap back, I've drawn such a detailed drawing on that blank side. And it did not matter if I'm mute or talking to the people next to me, I'm gonna fuck up a blank piece of paper. Another Pisces thing relating to love was I always had a girl on my mind. Always. I've romanticized far too many for me to even remember. The amount of people that has ran through my mind is crazy. I've never not had a crush. From nursery to now, I've always had someone I found special to daydream about. Luckily, I've been consistent with that with the same person for a long time. Not all Pisces are cheaters. But But I did romanticize many where when I actually got them in reality, I didn't want. No, didn't want. Cause more time, this is coming from me getting their number after seeing them, then going home and texting and phone calls until we meet properly and have a date. And you know all that absent makes the heart grow fonder stuff? This Pisces Mercury makes the mind go yonder. If I was absent from a crush or a slight interest, I'm gonna romanticize them hard as hell, which included making up my own version of them. Cause I'm just going off a voice after the initial introduction. Then I get around them again and in my head I'm like, wait, didn't you have a beauty spot on your eyebrow? Who the hell was I fantasizing about then? Cause it's not you. Cause it's not you. Now, there's dark sides to that with Pisces Mercury. It's not always innocent, and depending on the person's other placements, this can create a demon on the streets. Venus's love is not always pure. There's a dark side to Venus. There's a dark side to love. Love breeds delicious and can cause heartbreak like no other. Love can kill. So if the Pisces Mercury is not in reality and fantasizing about people like this, which can be complete strangers, it's not hard to see where all that can lead to without saying too much. And that doesn't matter if it's an Aquarius, Pisces or Aries. If that Pisces Mercury is off, those daydreams can turn into others' nightmares. Yeah, you can meet a Pisces Mercury who has had a full relationship with you in their head, and by the time they meet you, you're unaware you're going through a bitter divorce with them. Trust me. Pray you don't meet a delusional Pisces Mercury, especially if they're the type to not actually have real relationships with people. They don't go out there and pursue no one, but have all these relationships in their head. Be very careful.
Telepathic.
When dealing with a Pisces Mercury, you are dealing with the mind reader placement of the zodiac. As mentioned, Pisces is all about the subconscious mind. It's like swimming in and around where the moon is connected to and applying logic via Mercury. Pisces is also very attuned to deceptive practices being ruled by the planet of deception in Neptune. So there's no secrets around the Pisces Mercury, because they are listening from the 12th house of secrets. If you're worried about something and are around a Pisces Mercury, they're gonna pick it up and may even connect with that frequency you're on and detect what you are actually worrying about. Don't even speak to a Pisces Mercury if you are withholding information. If you're telling a Pisces Mercury a story and leave out information, all that you think you are hiding will be slap bang in the Pisces mind. They will notice all the blank spaces. No, the Pisces won't know exactly what you're leaving out, but they will know you are leaving out information, and that alone is enough for a Pisces Mercury to not trust you. So be warned, especially if it's a Pisces with a Pisces Mercury. Don't even bother. In general, a Pisces Mercury can know what you're gonna say before you say it, especially if they know you or have been speaking to you for a long time. My mind's always traveling, so that I know what someone's gonna say, I can drift off while listening, and when they stop for a response, I'll repeat what they've just said back to them, so I quickly can find the time to get back to the conversation and respond. I've been called out for this as well, repeating people, but it's just active listening. Someone can say to me, I went to the shop the other day. And I will say, you went to the shop the other day. But I'm saying it to stay present in the conversation and show that I'm listening. But some people can get huffy about being repeated too, because it's like, yes, I just said I went to the shop the other day. But this is just for the Pisces to get back to you. The full sentence will be, you went to the shop the other day. Okay, so how was it? It will be followed up with a question if the person doesn't take offense quickly. So Pisces Mercury can face issues in communicating with huffy people. A Pisces Mercury can hear what you're saying and what you're not saying through telepathy. A Pisces Mercury can communicate with you, send you mental messages without saying a word or even making eye contact. A Pisces Mercury can hear you say something in your head and ask you if you just said something because they thought they heard you actually say something out loud. This isn't all great or completely crystal clear. It's not like every Pisces Mercury will be straight up hearing all your thoughts in clear English, but it's like picking up muffled frequencies and understanding the frequency. So when we tie this back to the Pisces Mercury presenting a friendly, welcoming style of communication, you see where you can have someone scanning you and unraveling you, because they've detected something. All the water signs are connected. With Pisces Mercury is where you can get Scorpio-like detective traits, because it's all about communicating with another. So same way a Scorpio can detect and start prying, it's the same way a Pisces Mercury can be in a more non-interrogating way. But a Pisces Mercury will be asking you questions that will lead you to open up. It will happen seamlessly. This is where deception can be used in communication, because you can just think you're having a casual conversation with a Pisces Mercury when the only reason they're even talking to you is because they've picked up on some fucked up frequency you got going on behind the scenes. And this is the thing with Pisces energy in general. It's receiving, merging and uncovering. So Pisces Mercury won't be afraid to get into deep conversations with people even if it's unsettling. The only thing that can stop this is if the Pisces Mercury is in a mood. But if it means they'll find a connection to that behind the scenes thought they've picked up on, then they will gently inquire and they will get the answers. Even if it's not from your mouth, the universe will tell the Pisces Mercury, whether through a dream or another person involved. Once a Pisces Mercury seeks information, they find. It's like a shark sensing blood in the water. Pisces Mercury is that priest in the confessional booth where they make you feel at ease to free yourself, but there could be more to that depending on what you're confessing. Again, especially when it's a Pisces Sun and Mercury, others need to be careful with what they say, which will be hard, but if it's some fucked up shit Pisces picks up on and then it gets revealed, it won't end well. But on the brighter side, this works well when you have something on your mind and feel alone. Pisces Mercury will detect it and create a safe space for you. It will almost be impossible to feel alone around a Pisces Mercury because they can talk to you and comfort you without any words said. Telepathic communication is even stronger than verbal with Pisces Mercury. Silence isn't silence with this Mercury. And if you've got like some bright new idea that you're keeping to yourself, do not go around a Pisces Mercury, because they can mentally absorb it from you and then release it thinking it came from the universe when it really came from your mind. Pisces doesn't mean when they do things like that, you will even be confused how the Pisces could have had the same ideas as you when you didn't say anything. And that's the whole point. You don't need to say anything at all for Pisces to hear you loud and clear. So take note. All they need to do is be around you and it'll be like a Bluetooth or infrared connection going on from your mind to theirs.
Very thoughtful.
Mercury in Pisces will make the holder a very thoughtful person in regards to others. Pisces energy is about peace and harmony unless disturbed. So that's what Pisces mind will be focused on when dealing with others. They will think about themselves and you if healthy, or only think about you if not healthy. Either way, you're covered unless they start having dark thoughts. If you're meeting up with a Pisces Mercury, they will have you in mind. Like they may go into a shop and pick up your favorite drink because they know you're gonna love it. You know, just like very thoughtful gestures. That's a very Pisces Mercury thing. It's like selfless thinking. You can get this with Cancers as well. When it comes to gift giving, it'll be easy as hell for a Pisces Mercury to buy you things. Usually, when people buy presents for people, unless something has been requested, people will buy others something they like and hope the person they are giving it to likes it too. Like it's completely backwards. Pisces Mercury, like as well. Clock how much times I say like. A simile. That's a Pisces Mercury thing. Pisces Mercury will directly think of what you will like and get it for you whether the Pisces likes it or not. Because the gift itself has nothing to do with the Pisces, it's all to do with the receiver. Santa Claus was modelled after St. Nicholas, a Pisces by the way, I'm just saying. Remember, Pisces is a tape recorder. So when they focus on you with the topic of being a gift, they will remember all the things you've said you like or are into and know what to buy you. A Pisces Mercury will never give you something thinking you may like it. They will know you will like it because they separate themselves from the whole transaction. It's all about how your thoughts work. What they think and know you will like. However, a cheat code I've found is whenever it's someone's birthday coming up or Christmas, to save time I'll always go into our chat and search I want, or I like, and bingo. 4 months ago, you said you like this or that, so all it takes is a little further digging to see if they've since acquired this or that, and if not, you have your present. If they have acquired it, it's still easy to find a gift because you'll know how this person's mind works, so coming up with a gift is not hard whatsoever. So all that Piscean compassion and love, when Pisces Mercury thinks of you, they truly do think of you and your world. They'll detach themselves and their own thoughts from the process and give you what you want.
Craziest imagination, limitless creativity.
With Pisces Mercury, you can never be bored, because again, it's Mercury swimming in an endless ocean of everything. That universal ocean that Neptune rules, Mercury is in there constantly learning and discovering. That's where the real magic is going on. The mind will be like a gigantic cartoon. Thousands of ideas, the craziest imagination. Now, I never said you'll be forever happy, but you'll never be bored. And this can also be a negative because this can cause a Pisces Mercury to just stay in their head and achieve nothing in reality. They spent all day sculpting the fucking Venus de Milo in their head, increasing the bosom in their version, and didn't even take the dog out for a walk, causing the dog to leave a hefty present for them on their couch. So this is where control is needed. Balance is needed. Pisces Mercury works best when they are being creative. No matter what it is, there is nothing a Pisces Mercury cannot do if they put their mind to it. So once active, it's just a constant stream of inspiration. Ideas galore. Writer's block? What the fuck is a writer's block? Said the Pisces Mercury. I'm even writing things in my dreams. You need a whole movie script drafted by tonight. About a topic I haven't any clue about or ever experienced. Psh, give me a couple hours, I got you. I mean, stress and life itself can cause problems with the Pisces Mercury's creativity, but once they have that breathing space, oh, this placement can create so much magic. Because it's not just the distant dreams and experiences, that's more the moon. Mercury is where the dreams can logically be manifested. The dreams aren't at the back of the mind, it's at the front. Boredom will not be a friend of a Pisces Mercury. How can it be when you've got a whole explorable world in your head? And it helps if I have something tedious to do. If I'm not able to listen to music to get me through it, as music is everything to Pisces, especially Mercury, we can sink into music. Your average Pisces will be humming or whistling to themselves because music runs through the whole brain. But if not, then all I need is silence and my mind will keep me occupied with everything. Can even have full-blown conversations with myself in my head. Can go through a whole memorized album in my head. Can rewatch something in my head. Literally hours can pass by. One time my radio broke in my car, about 10 years ago, so I was driving around with no music for like a month, and it did not make a single difference. Obviously I wasn't dancing to my tunes as I'm driving, but once I sort of actively zoned out, next minute I'm at my destination because my mind has kept me so occupied. Pisces Mercury's imagination is just a magical and musical world. It's why we'll be interested in things of that nature like cartoons and stuff like that too, because we can merge with another's creation and get lost in it. I grew up watching a few Disney movies etc. because my girl cousins would put them on, and as I'd watch them my mind was so in it, immersed in the soundtracks, the story. It hits different with Pisces Mercury. Yeah, I fuck with Mary Poppins and a Spoonful of Sugar, Beauty and the Beast, fuck Gaston, and Cartoon Network and Top Cat and all that shit, fuck Officer Dibble. And I'll kick it with Dexter and Johnny Bravo, fuck Dee Dee. Tom and Jerry, bro, I used to be riding out with Jerry. Run Jerry, run! In my head I'm doing this, by the way. I'll never do that shit around the honeys. But that's the magic of Pisces. Not only is our own imagination so limitless, we can also jump into and appreciate another's art or work. I mentioned that painting analogy of when hearing someone's story in my first video. And this is where it comes from. Everything is like art to Pisces Mercury. Life imitates art. Understanding people is the easiest thing a Pisces Mercury can do. People can become so boring, so art, TV, movies, video games, that's where you can find Pisces Mercury swimming. Consuming or creating or both. And Pisces' best work will come from isolation, I'll tell you that much. Sitting at a round table brainstorming with others, no. I mean, we can, but the magic with Pisces happens when alone.
Dark thoughts.
So it's been pretty light up until now, but the dark side is Pisces Mercury will 100% have dark thoughts. Pisces is the sign of light and dark, good and bad, day and night, yin and yang. Darkness is ever present in Pisces, so when it comes to how you think, darkness will be in there. Pisces Mercury can be receptive to every frequency, so that includes good and bad. Sometimes it's the Pisces Mercury's own thoughts, sometimes they've picked it up from another, but it will be there and will have to be dealt with in silence. Now, it's not just the Mercury that's the cause of these dark thoughts, it can come from the Sun and Moon too. Whatever's going on there will also be why Pisces Mercury gets into dark thought patterns. And when it's in Pisces Sun, who is dealing with this stuff practically, the thoughts will be on that frequency too. Everything starts in the mind, right? We can say it goes Moon to Mercury to Sun. When it's in the Moon, it's bad, but may not advance. Say it's like having a deep feeling to shark somebody. Now, if it gets to Mercury, this is where the danger comes in, because Mercury is going to start thinking of ways of how to shark somebody. This is where the infamous serial killers are born in Pisces Sun, no matter the Mercury. Or even just the violent shark ones. How am I going to do it? Where am I going to do it? What am I going to use? What's the consequences of this? This is all Mercury. Mercury wants to make it real. Mercury is about chaos. And when you look at that, Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. I mean, if you know the dark side of those two signs' minds, you wouldn't even want to go there. It's chaos. So with Pisces encompassing everything and having a million ways to do things, it's almost always going to come out with the Sun. Unless you've got serious restraint or haven't been pushed that far. Because Mercury and the Sun is close. They're homies. They work together. It's why more times they're conjunct in people's charts. Mercury's the voice for the soul. So from a Pisces Mercury is thinking badly, it's already gone left. There's not much control in Pisces or the 12th house, where they're from. So how Pisces Mercury can combat this is literally to avoid what can trigger their mind. Sometimes this is people, sometimes it's places. But this is another reason why Pisces will isolate and stay mute to not get triggered or drawn into things. Pisces Mercury loves the magical side of their mind because they also know how dark and depressive it can get and psychotic. Putting that out there. Pisces Mercury can get psychotic. But the reason there are two fishes and why balance is needed with the fish scales is isolation can lead Pisces into dark thoughts too. Pisces don't need people or need to communicate, but the more Pisces is alone and in their head is the more likely they will eventually start exploring their dark thoughts, because they're always there regardless, and again, from it reaches the conscious mind, it's a problem. Whether Aquarius Sun, Pisces Sun or Aries Sun, it doesn't matter, all three can be very violent, dishing out dark thoughts of a Pisces Mercury. And the thing is, as magical as our kind are, the world we live in has some magical places and people, but the real reality is mass killings and wars. That's the real. Some real evil things are happening on this earth under the quiet every single day, and this is what Pisces is connected to. They pick up these energies from the living and the dead. The sounds of pain and screams let out across the globe, from people and animals. Pisces Mercury will pick this up. The happy and the suffering. So this can create a demon in a Pisces, because as passive as Pisces appears, trust me, if they start actively thinking evil, it's over for whoever they're thinking about. If they start thinking bad about themselves for even having them thoughts, this is where seaside thoughts can come in. This is where thoughts of consuming, body damaging and soul crushing things can come in. But if it's negative thoughts towards others, fantasies can turn into bloodshed, dreams can turn into nightmares, and Pisces Sun can be all for it practically. I can be so muffled in speech if I'm in my head and get asked a random question, but you see when I get mad, I speak loud and clear and you will hear the demon energy in my voice. I've heard it in reality and I'm sure others have too. It's all good the Pisces Mercury coming out soft or deep, but what about when it comes out demonic? You will be surprised how my voice sounds when I'm mad compared to what you're hearing right now. 2 times where you will hear a Pisces Mercury loud and clear, when they are angry or when they are performing. You will not mistake this placement with communication when they come alive. This can be a placement of severe nightmares too. On the light side, it's daydreams, maybe even foretelling dreams and dreams of past loved ones. But on the darker side, it's frightening nightmares, where you're scared to go back to sleep type nightmares. Cause there's no barrier from the spiritual to the physical realm in Pisces, so Pisces Mercury can pick these things up mentally, and it can turn them mental if they're not strong enough. Pisces energy is nothing to take lightly, even when it appears flighty.
Final thoughts.
So with saying all of that, the good and the bad, this placement is secretly my favourite, and I've got quite a few planets at home in their signs with a couple exaltations too, but this one here where it's in detriment and full is my favourite, funny enough, alongside being a Pisces, as it just allows me to dive deeper into my soul, where I can communicate from the soul. Pisces is all about the soul, man. And that is what you are hearing anytime you hear these videos, Pisces Mercury. I think I've heard if it's in retrograde in your chart, it will give you the reverse results. Like you won't stutter when you speak, etc. It will be an easy placement, maybe similar to Virgo Mercury, if it's in reverse. Mine's just normal, no retrograde, but I've learned over time how to work with its flaws when I'm expressing myself. I think if I knew I had this detriment placement from a child, I may have used it as an excuse and not worked on it. Like, sorry, I can't explain myself. I've got a Pisces Mercury. Now, you got to power through these things. There's no bad placement. Everything can be tuned up if you work on it. I still fluff my words to this day. I just get on with it because this placement can cause you to hyper-focus too. So if I knew it's like I'm going to randomly mess up my words when I'm talking because my mind is elsewhere, you think I'll be approaching anybody in the street? Hell no, I would have been worried I'm going to make a mistake and a bad impression. So this is why I think astrology works best when you're reflecting than knowing things way before you've matured. Because some things you may learn about yourself may place blocks in your mind. Knowing your sun signs enough until you get at least late teens, early 20s, where you've lived a little and got life experience. Oh, and if I'm telling a story in person without reading it off the paper, oh, just forget it. I'll take forever to get to the point, because halfway through the story, I'm going to start talking about so much other relatable shit that's just come into my head. Telling one story will breed like 10 stories for me. If you know, you know. We find structure when we write down our thoughts. That's what makes it easy to make speeches. Doing it off the top of the dome may be a myth. It depends. And if you don't get alone time and are in constant communication with people, I'm messing up. Yeah, I don't think the holder will like this placement because there's no time to wonder, and it can be a struggle when having a normal conversation with people. I'll make sure I have alone time. I'll find space. So if you've got this, it's best you do too. But for the Pisces Mercury who may be shy or hesitate to say anything when you've got a lot to say, just take the advice my dad gave me. You have a mouth for a reason, so use it.
Fishes got mouths too.
You see how Sagittarius are rude though? I know I've got a mouth. Maybe I just didn't want to talk, Mr. Centaur. I'm busy daydreaming about me and Megan Good trapped in a closet playing 7 Minutes in Heaven, Dad. Maybe I didn't want to talk to the chip shop man. Just put the salt and vinegar on the chips and don't beg it with me. Talk to my dad. I'm not the one paying for the chips, Mr. Chip Shop man. The fuck you talking to me for? I'm a kid. I eat anything I'm given as long as it don't stink. Of course I want sodium. I'm a kid. My sugar and salt intake is high as hell. Daily. The fuck you think I'm gonna say no to salt? Coat that shit in salt. This is why Pisces Mercury don't really want to talk sometimes, because we can get very rude and tell you about yourself. I swear his arms were hairy as hell too. All that reaching over my food. I know at least one hair strand fell in my shit.